Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. There's some bad news for Nicki Minaj and her husband. Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, was recently arrested by the feds for not registering as a sex offender. Now I had to bleep out the word because YouTube is very sensitive, but Kenneth was taken into federal custody for not registering as an offender, and he was released on a $20,000 bond. Now, just to give you all a backstory, in 1995, Kenny was convicted at the age of 15 years old for first-degree attempted rape. He served almost 4 years in New York State prison, and he was registered as an offender in New York, but when he moved to California, he didn't register. Last year in November, the police pulled him over at a traffic stop in LA, and they found out he wasn't registered in the state of California. So they gave him a certain period of time to comply with the law, but he never registered. So now he's facing up to 10 years in federal prison. Now, Kenny did appear in court and he pled not guilty, but he had to pay another $100,000 bond, and he got his passport revoked. He also has to wear an ankle monitor, and he will be stuck in California for the time being until his next court hearing. So things don't look good for Kenny at all, and it doesn't look good for Nicki either. Nicki already had to go through the negative publicity surrounding her brother, and now she has to deal with the same thing all over again with her husband. But this is the man she chose to be with, and she has to deal with everything that comes with him, including his criminal past. Now, Kenneth is facing up to 10 years in federal prison, which is a serious sentence, but I think Nicki is going to hire her lawyers to help get him off. So we will see what happens from there, but this whole situation is just embarrassing, and it's a hot mess. I do want to move on and talk about some new updates involving Megan Thee Stallion's drama with her label. For those of y'all who don't know the backstory, earlier this week, Megan called out her label and claimed that they were trying to stop her from releasing new music. Megan also filed a lawsuit and a restraining order against her label CEO, Carl Crawford. She claims that Carl was cheating her out of a lot of money, and she also claimed that Carl was trying to threaten her. Now, Carl did clap back at Megan and said that everything she was saying about him was a lie. He said that Megan went behind his back to sign a deal with Roc Nation, which he didn't know about, and he also said that Megan has been booking gigs without his approval, and she has failed to pay him the residuals from her show money. Megan signed a contract, and apparently she's not honoring the contract that she signed. So the whole situation has been a mess, and if you want to get more details, I would suggest that you watch my past 2 videos. But now there's more drama going on because Megan decided to announce that she's dropping her album Sugar on Friday. Megan made the hasty decision to release her album this week because she wanted to release the album before her restraining order against Carl expires. Now, Carl is very upset about this because once again, Megan is overstepping him, and they still haven't resolved the issues that they have. So Megan is moving kind of hasty right now, and Carl is not with it. So he wants an emergency court hearing, and he wants to dissolve his restraining order. So if everything goes in his favor, Megan might not be able to release her album this week. But honestly, Megan has some pretty shrewd lawyers behind her now, so I do think she's going to get her way. Megan and her manager T. Ferris are really running circles around Carl right now. It's embarrassing to see because he's the CEO, but Megan is making decisions without his approval like she's the CEO. It's crazy. But I wish it didn't have to come to this. I think Megan should handle out her business first before rushing to release a project. She doesn't need this type of publicity surrounding her album release. So I think she's just being impetuous right now, and it's creating a toxic environment at her label. And that's not what she needs. Now, I do want to move on to the next topic. The pop and R&B singer Tinashe received some backlash on social media after she threw shade at Kanye and Kim Kardashian's daughter, North West. Now, recently, North West did her debut rap performance at her father's Yeezy fashion show, but she was called out by the parents of another young rapper by the name of Zaza, and they basically pointed out the fact that North copied Zaza's sound. Now, Kim Kardashian did respond, and both of the parents handled it respectfully. But here's where things got petty. Tinashe made a comment under Zaza's post saying this, Northwest wishes. When she made this comment, a lot of people were looking at her like, girl, why are you shading a child? This actually caused Tinashe to get backlash by hundreds of people on social media. Tinashe responded to the backlash and said this on Twitter, "It was a joke. Y'all seriously dragging it. Y'all really acting as if I personally reached out to the little girl, like she even on the gram, like I'm sick of everyone being so self-righteous. Please." A Twitter user said, "Where was the joke? Were we supposed to laugh?" And she said, "I swear, y'all just like to be mad about stuff. Yes, it was a joke. Lighten up." Even though I thought Tinashe's comment about Northwest was unnecessary, I think the only reason why she got so much backlash is because she is a celebrity and people don't like to see celebrities joke around like regular people. So that's why she got dragged. And I found it interesting when I saw Justine Skye respond to Tinashe on Instagram. She said, "You mad?" And I was like, ooh, what's going on here? I thought Tinashe and Justine were cool. Justine used to praise Tinashe, but now she's checking her. I wonder what's going on there.
But who are you like a fan of? Who is like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm really a fan of Tinashe. I think
Really?
she's like
Yeah.
I like her song Company. I tweeted out.
Do you know her?
Yeah, we used to like hung out a couple of times.
Okay.
I do think it's interesting to see how things turned now because Justine and Tinashe don't even follow each other anymore. So I'm wondering what actually happened. Is it because they have an issue with each other? Or does this have to do with Justine's BFF, Kendall Jenner? From what I understand, Tinashe isn't too fond of Kendall because her ex-boyfriend, who she was in love with, left her to be with Kendall. Tinashe was dating the NBA player Ben Simmons, and she opened up about it in several interviews, so they were public. But the funny thing is, when Ben and Tinashe broke up, he immediately started dating Kendall Jenner. So it seemed as if he was dating Kendall on the low while he was with Tinashe, and Tinashe was really heartbroken about it, and she said she drank for 6 months straight after the breakup. Now, Tinashe had an issue with Kendall Jenner being in the picture all of a sudden, and she decided to be petty one day and said that Ben was texting her while he was with Kendall.
Did you see Ben and Kendall inside?
I did.
How do you feel? What do you feel?
Texting me. What
He's
the hell?
texting you and he's with her?
Doing?
Right?
What an idiot.
When Tinashe said this, Ben released a statement saying that Tinashe was lying, and Kendall and Ben thought Tinashe was stalking them. Now, I'm sure you're asking, what does this have anything to do with Tinashe and Justine's alleged beef? Well, I'll tell you. Justine is very good friends with Kendall Jenner, which I do find a little weird because Kendall's sister Kylie took Travis Scott away from Justine, but that's a whole nother video. But Justine is still cool with Kendall, so I'm assuming that maybe Justine might feel a way about Tinashe because Kendall feels a way about Tinashe. So maybe that's why Justine and Tinashe don't really click like that anymore. But I don't know. I'm just making this whole thing up just to say it's all petty, okay? It's petty, petty, petty. And I don't even know why I brought this up, to be honest, but let me move on. Last but not least, I do want to talk about Romeo Miller quitting growing up hip hop. Romeo and his father, Master P, recently did an interview on The Breakfast Club, and they revealed that they're not going to be on the show anymore because WeTV tried to make Romeo get into a fake love triangle with Angela Simmons and Bow Wow.
So even with the show, it's not about the money. I'm the highest paid on the network, but I had to walk away because I can't sell my soul for money. I can't sell my soul for a storyline, you know, and it's never worth it for me at the end of the day.
I know you said when Angela Simmons was up here and she had things to say too about being disappointed because you guys had such a strong relationship and you not reaching
Wait, we
out.
had a strong what?
Really, like friendship, relationship, not relationship like that, but
like Romeo said, we wish them the best. We don't want to gripe on it because it's really nothing, because it's a love triangle. Where all of a sudden Romeo, Bow Wow, and Hunter triangle. Like, come on.
As a businessman, you got to see that, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, as a businessman, and even the situation with Bow has been like that our whole career, where people wanted to put us
Pitch y'all
against each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was my idol as a little kid. I put him in my first single. In the whole world, they want you to compete. You know, that's what they do to us. And now it's happening as adults, and I'm like, it's not about to go there because that's not what it is. I never had anything with Angela like that.
Now, I can't really say I'm surprised about this because I've never really seen a connection with Romeo and Angela like that. It was always weird because they tried to force something for the cameras, but it's clear they were never really into each other like that, because if they were, they would have gotten together a long time ago. And I don't blame Romeo for leaving the show because I do think it's ridiculous for him to participate in a fake love triangle with Angela and Bow Wow. Like, that's silly. And I honestly would be side-eyeing Angela and Bow Wow if they agreed to do something like that. But they probably don't mind acting like they're into each other because they do have a history. So maybe they're willing to do it, but Romeo is not. And I'm glad that he's not willing to play himself for a check. Because let's be real, Romeo does not have to compete with Bow Wow. Are you kidding me? Romeo is leagues ahead of Bow Wow in every facet. So there's no competition and there's no point in competing for a woman who he doesn't even like that. And also, he's not interested in promoting drama and creating a feud that's not even real. So I'm glad that he stuck to his principles and decided to walk away from the show. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.